Oh, Buddy the dog. What are you doing, pal? He's been lazily enjoying the day. That's good. Well, we got a few things to do to a John Deere, but not that one. So we're gonna get started right after this. All right, friends, welcome back. If you haven't seen my videos before, I'm Rusty Oliver Man, but we're gonna play with this here G again. I see the birds decided they couldn't leave it alone, so that's great. But there's things we need to do to it to make it more better. And one thing that bothered me was the gauges are crap, because that looks like they just sandblasted the tractor with the gauges in place, and they ruined the face. So I actually busted the glass out so I could at least see the oil pressure. And it's a shame, because those gauges look like, if they all look like that one, they would have been great. But I got different gauges, and I was gonna put them on, and then that led to, well, this dash is a piece of garbage. The other side, it's broke out around the bolt holes and stuff, and so I thought, hey, I'll just find one that's in better shape instead of trying to reinvent the wheel there, you know. So it's in the mail, so we can't do that today. But you can see they inappropriately have headlights mounted to the dash, which is not how this was. It was supposed to have something to the steering column to make that happen. So a quick perusal of the old interweb, and I found this F694R light bar that goes in here, and it'll do the thing. And then we clamp the we'll have to get the correct lights too, but then it just has like a strap with a hole, and then it bolts to that and whatever. And it's also interesting to note it's longer on one side than the other because your steering post is offset. So we are going to greenify this here in a minute. I've got it pretty well cleaned up, but I'm going to give it a coat of paint so it doesn't stick out so bad and what have you. And then that'll be one thing on our list that we can put on later. And I got a couple more things. Well, for one, good old viewer Kenny there, he messes with 2-cylinder Deeres, and he was telling me, he made a little video short about, he thought my throttle problem was the actual throttle loose on the shaft. On this one, it's not. What it's doing, there you can see, it's actually that the top piece is pivoting on the bolt. And I don't know that there's a lot that a guy could do about that, to be honest with you. Short of maybe getting a new bolt and put in there, but square-headed bolt, are you gonna find that? I don't think just tightening it is gonna do me any good, because it's probably wore in here, you know, from being run loose for years. So we're just gonna have to live with it. I don't think it's that big a deal. I'm just gonna live with it instead of mess with it and end up destroying something. So we'll paint this and whatever, and I think I'll go ahead and do that now instead of just talking about it, or I'll never get it done. So I'll bring you back in just a second. All right, that is drying, so we will have to put that on later on in time. But now for the next thing. I ordered, you probably can't tell what that is from just one piece, but a step, because these things are hard to get on and off of. And this one is going to present even more of a problem because of the fact that you're limited to what you can do, because I would not put it on this side because the flywheel is spinning. So ain't no way I'm doing that, you know what I'm saying? Another struggle bus that I didn't think of is I did not order ahead of time enough nuts. I don't have, they used the special nuts, but I see there's one there maybe, and then there's one over here, and if I can get those off of the studs, then we'll be in business. As far as assembling the step itself, that's not going to be a problem. I mean, that's like very basic. I put one of these on that B. He says as he doesn't do it correctly. But I don't like it that it's so, what am I trying to say here? It's pretty close to the wheel. But if I put it over here, I don't think I gained anything over what I've been doing, which is put my foot on the drawbar. So we're gonna try it like that. If we rip it off, whatever, we may end up, I don't know. We'll just see what progresses as we mess with this tractor. We may totally change everything, because I would like to find a set of fenders for it like what's on my other one, so that they look alike, you know. But I don't know. Let's just put this in loosely, and then we'll tackle trying to get other stuff broke loose. Because I'm sure, friends, it's not gonna just go easy. It never does. We'll have to get our tools and put that together, but I think it will be fine. I think, you know, short of wedging a tree limb or something in between there, I think it's going to keep it out of the way. But now we need to work on getting loose those nuts. Now, I have the factory wrenches, believe it or not, that would have come with these, and I actually ended up with another set of them, which are probably in the back of the pickup still. So the question is, should I get those, or should I just get a ratchet and try to get it loose? Because it's gonna, I'm sure this is gonna be a struggle bus. I could just get the impact maybe and see if I can buzz those off. I don't know if I have enough battery power though. The bottom stud on that one's bent, so somebody's loved on it pretty hard already. I'm just looking her over, friends. That triangle thing is where the fenders would bolt. So we would have to clean those holes out when the time comes. But I'm very much willing to do it, because we want this to be all that it can be, just like the Army, right? Another quick thing to talk about is I was reading up more on this lift, and I think that my problem is, as far as I know, it's got dummy plugs in it now, and I think it's probably working about as good as can be expected, because I think you're supposed to have a different top plug if you want to use what I'm doing, because what I'm doing would be where you plumbed in for like a loader, I think. But anyway, the next thing I'm going to try, I mean, I could probably, if I had cylinder stops on the plow, I could plow with it like this. It just, when you let loose, it goes down to wherever it is. So my next thing to try would be to get the actual power troll plugs like you would have screwed on your hoses. But then what I'm going to do is screw a coupler on it like this, so that I could just plug it in and then plug my other hoses into it and see if that works. I'm not really up on all that and how it works. I just know that if you pull these out, you lose a lot of fluid while you're doing that switching. So I think that's why people like this idea, but I don't know. At least it's not leaking out oil. I tried messing with the, what they call it, the throttling screw, and then there's a screw up here that does something, and I messed with both of those and I got no change in operation. So we're probably doing something that it wasn't made to do. But anyway, let me go grab the impact and see if we can get those off of there. We got to get one from there and one from there, and if I can make that go, then we're good to go. But the other thing is some of those are actually the stud is made into it and they don't come off, but I don't know what we have here. So, and it may come out wrong, so we may end up with it the wrong way. I don't know, but all we can do is try first and then we'll go from there. All right, here's some factory Deere wrenches. That one's actually better than the other one I got here. And then I've got two more. I've got the one that actually came with the B, which is only single ended, and I'm pretty sure it only fits those. And then I got another double ended one that came off of something. Anyway, what I'm getting at here is I think that this is going to come loose, because I just tried it and it seemed like it was gonna go. Let's see what happens. Aw. Nope. That's what I figured was gonna happen. Instead of coming off of the stud, the whole works came off. So that's a fail there, but I'm not ruling it out as a possibility yet. I don't know. We'll figure something out there. Let's try the other one. I'm afraid they're all gonna come out like that. I'm sure of it. Yep. I knew it. Okay, so now our options are, maybe we could put two nuts on that and try to get those studs out of this and just use what we got. And then I wouldn't have to wait, you know. Let me see if I got some stuff and we can try it. But this is going to be a hand job, you see, because we got to turn from the back nut in order to make that work. Oh, what fun, friends, what fun. All right, friends, are you still there? I weighed my options, you see. I weighed my options. Also, I was thinking about that the other day. I need to get an actual PTO shield for this, even though this is broke. Wonder if you could change that out. I don't know. But anyway, what I'm gonna do, I found a couple nuts that screw on there. I'm just gonna use them and order some of the right stuff. And the reason why is because by the time I'd stick that through, there wouldn't be very much holding it. And so I would much rather have an appropriate amount of stuff sticking out here, because I feel like, you know what I'm saying, without me even saying it. I'm trying to make my fat self room here to contort in here. What you're going to want to do is work on a tractor on a hill so that if it makes loose. Let's try that. Does that show you some stuff? But I'm just going to hammer these home for today. And then I will get, like I said, I'll get the actual things that it takes. And from there, our life will be grand. I don't think my battery's dead on this. I think the problem is this battery is not making connection, because I had that problem yesterday, and it's just not wanting to play nice. This nut may not be as good as I thought it was. Oh well, it's on there. It doesn't look right because those aren't the original style stuff, and I care about that, so I'm gonna order those so that it goes on there, but whatever. We need to tighten our plate to our arm, which of course will require yet another size of stuff. And it looks like those are actually metric bolts. That's just fine. We're used to that by now. We roll metric style a lot of places. Oh, those are way different than what I guessed. Okay, I think that's gonna fit. Let's just see if we inappropriately, I could angle it, I guess. Would that make me feel better? I think it actually would. It looks kind of stupid, but that gives me more clearance here, which I'm kind of, I don't know. I think I'm going to go for it. Sure. Now, did this actually make it easier? I can go like this. I can reach up. Then I can slide forward. It's going to be really bad whenever I put fenders on, because you won't be able to do that. But right now, that made it a lot easier. At least it seems like it, because what was happening was, especially when you would get off of here, you would have to reach and try to get your foot to hit that drawbar, and thusly several things. Number one, that would happen. Your coat gets caught on the lever. That's how I destroy most of my coats. But also, your sack was coming down right against this, and if you made one false slip, you were gonna sing soprano for Christmas. So yeah, I'd just rather go off that way than the way I was. So let's put this back. So that, we're gonna go with that. I think that's an improvement. Like I said, I'm very limited to what I can do. I could do it on this side, and I might get another one and do that. But like on the B, it is really hard to get on and off of, and it would be easier like on the B to get on the front. I think that's where I actually have that step mounted, is up here, but that's too dangerous. I would forget that that was going on and end up ripping myself to pieces, because you're going to get on and off and leave the tractor running. That's just the way it works in life. I know they say in the operator's book to shut her down, but that never happens in real life. So it would just be better to go like this, I guess. Now for the most funnest thing. Don't you like my English there? Let me show you what a viewer sent me. Good viewers that I have, all I did was mention something in the video, and somebody reached out for me and said, hey, I'll send you one of these. I took off of mine. And boy, we're gonna do it, friends. Because, well, for A, this muffler, and believe it or not, this muffler and air stack, somebody has cut and re-welded shorter. I guess they were trying to get in a shorter building or something, and it looks stupid, I think. I mean, that's personal opinion. I guess if you had a short building, you did what you had to do, but I don't like it. Now, the original on the G, I think they were like 24 inches long, which is pretty tall, but anyway, we're gonna go with that, and I am gonna order a new air stack and try to have that, because I can't look at that. I mean, that's cobbled up there. I mean, that's just, I just can't. I can't do it. Just to me, like, this tractor's rough in a lot of ways, but if you fix a lot of the little things like that, it makes it look so much better. Like, you know, I don't know how to describe that. Like, clean up stuff. We'll paint this black so that it doesn't look like somebody just hosed her down and didn't care, you know, that kind of stuff. If you do things like that, it starts looking less rough and more better. So yeah, I'm gonna get probably a 9/16 actually. And it also looks like somebody's had these loose in the last 50 years, so that's good for us, because that means we'll get it off of there. Probably. I say that and now we'll twist off every single one, but All right. Will you come loose? Yes, you will. That's good. Because of this design, they wised up and made it where you could get to it without taking the hood and cutting the hood, you know? Almost all those B's, and probably A's too, have hood patches because people didn't want to pull the whole hood to change the muffler. Come on. Aw, come on. Alright. That's a good muffler, it's just not what I want. So I'm not throwing it away, is what I'm getting at, friends. Ooh, she's kind of tight. A tight fit. I hope that works. I hope I'm doing it right. Maybe there's a better side than another. Maybe. I bet I won't be able to put it on here with the same thing I took it off with. Because I bet you see that chrome is thicker, or the pipe is the full width of the deal. We need to polish that pipe up. It's been sitting a while, you can tell. But I think if we get some stuff and polish on it, it's going to be beautiful. I'm going to have to get something else to do this one. It's not going to work that way. I like the way it looks already. Beautiful. There we go. Oh, friends, I can't wait to hear it. It's probably going to be obnoxiously loud. But doesn't that look cool? That makes it look better. I should pick up all my stuff because I know I'm going to want to drive it as soon as I start it, but let's just see. Forgot where all the stuff is on it. All right, neutral, key on, choke. Oh, I might have to open the things. There we go. That's cool. That sounds cool. That gives it a deeper tone. All right, we got to play with our toy. We can't wait. See what we can do with this. So I can start on the drawbar, go up. Oh yeah. Solomatic. The carburetor, I think, a little bit. It's noticeably more loud, but it looks cool. So hey. When you idle it down, it's not too bad, but it is a lot louder. It sounds cool. Simple piece of chrome pipe could make somebody so happy. I think we're gonna have to work on the clutch. It makes some sad noises sometimes in there, like on the road. When I put it in high gear and engage the clutch, it acted like it didn't grab right away, so. All right, pretty cool. We got a lot to do yet. We got to fix those leaks. The water's leaking up there. Oil cup's still leaking. That didn't fix itself. Got to make the fuel system better. I bet that needle has vibrated closed. I bet that's what happened. Because today it didn't want to go. Like under a load, it was cutting out. Pretty cool, friends, pretty cool. Sleep. All right, so that's awesome. I can't complain about that. That is pretty cool. I am stoked about that. So we're just making little gains on this project here and there, and try to make it better than the guy before us, because he did a good job to a point, but then obviously that was where he quit. And so we're going to straighten out the paint a little bit and probably just take it component by component and try to clean it up and get it better. We'll get that dash and all the gauges put in it. We need to tackle the fuel line. So this haven't magically fixed himself. It needs a belt. It needs a water leak stopped, which I believe is just leaking around the hose up top. It probably wouldn't take much other than taking the hood off and getting that fixed correctly and then going on with life. Straighten out this cluster of sadness. I mean, that is a cluster of sadness there. That all needs to be different. But we need to cut that belt and get one like an inch shorter, because it's maxed out all the way now. Like it really, up is tight. So if I roll it down, I could probably get a lot shorter belt on there. But pretty sweet, friends. We need to get a couple petcocks, I think. That one on the other side's horrendous. It leaks a lot. We need to get just all the stuff, you know, all the stuff we need to do to just make it a little bit better as we go along. But I do not regret this purchase at all, and I definitely am grateful to viewer who sent that. I'll bring that up again in the viewer mail video and highlight the person. I guess somehow there we go. Yeah, it was viewer Nathan that sent me that straight pipe. I was trying to remember his name. I thought that's what it was, but I didn't want to say it wrong. But anyway, he sent me a picture of his G, and I'll show that in the viewer mail video. But anyway, there was his G. He had both stacks on there chrome, and he said it was too loud for him, which it's loud. Don't kid yourself, friend. That is loud, but I like it. I'm not going to use this every day, so it's not like, you know, if I find that I can't stand it, like if I'm trying to play with it and do something, I can always put that other thing back on. It's not hard to change. It's 4 bolts and it's out in the open. But I like the looks of that. It makes it look a little bit nicer. And like I said, we'll just keep going through this over the years and doing a little bit of stuff to it here and there and yonder that needs attention. And, you know, try to stop some more leaks, try to do some more cosmetic improvement, because, I mean, like the grills, that's a sad sack. But I know from doing the other one, that is a bear. I'm going to keep looking and try to find some better ones. I know there's probably not that many out there, but I think if I could find a set of grills that was a little more straight, I would save myself a lot of headache and sadness. And I know where there's an oil cup, so I might just order that. I could probably have that fixed, but it's so rusty in the bottom now that I feel like I'd just rather start with a better one. So we'll do that. We'll get the fuel line system done. There needs to be a little valve at the end of this doodabber, and then this comes from the back tank, and then there'd be a line to go to the carburetor. And I want that all to be just the way it was. Even if I never use it, I liked it to be the stuff and the things, you know, the way it's supposed to be. So we'll do that. Dash first, of course, and then, yeah, I'm looking at how that's made exactly. I guess I got to take this off whenever we change out that dash, because I won't be able to get that thing out of the hole of the dash unless I do it that way. So anyway, 3 new parts today, and I don't know, I'm already happy. We got 2 of them on. The third one, that's fine, but I'll have to get some headlights, factory headlights, which you can get new. I could get originals and stuff like that, but I found a lot of times on these old tractors, it's just easier if they make the correct kind that look like the originals, then you might as well just buy the original, or the new ones that look right. Because by the time you clean them up and paint them and mess with them, and then they don't make connection, and then you do this and that, it's just better. But I want the original style, not these kind here that have the tin nonsense. I don't. That's like a universal aftermarket thing there. So those will go away, and the bar will be on, and everything is going to be grand, and we're going to have us quite the fun time with this. So I don't know what we'll do with it either, you know, this summer. Maybe we need to hook it to that Minneapolis Molding Combine and try to combine wheat with it over at Cousin's house if his wheat didn't get destroyed. You know, it doesn't have live PTO, so that'll be a super duper hassle. And then, of course, also I forgot that the hydraulic thing isn't working right, so we'd have to straighten that out. I'll keep messing with that and see if we can't get that going. Because like I said, if I get a set of those other plugs, I think I could make her go the way it's supposed to. But anyway, we're gonna leave this video here. I know people are probably tired of a John Deere, but hey, it's what we're doing and we're having fun. So until next time, friends, we're gonna leave this one here. Do you suffer from low intelligence and are easily entertained? Well, then hit that thumbs up button and leave a comment. And that way we can keep making entertainment that your feeble minds can understand. As always, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.